people get confused too when they start owing you some money. I found that out too. They get a little confused. Yeah. And the more money they owe you, the more confused they get. Okay, y'all, good morning, good morning. It's Wednesday morning. About like it was yesterday morning. It looks like it might rain, but we ain't falling for that okie doke. So yeah. So today we're doing the nooner run, and you know, all of them are not needed. So it sucks. You know, I hate running shit like we're having to run shit, but you know, what else do you do? So out of the 8 or 9 that's usually on this route, got like 4 that we're not gonna do. Of course, I done filled in on the schedule which ones we're not doing and everything. So I want to ride by the HOA. I also need to stop. So I gotta stop by the tire shop and put this and let them have this tire that came off the equipment trailer. I went on and put the new tire on, and I don't see anything in this tire. I don't know. You just never know, man. You pulling a skid steer around, there's a lot of weight, man. A lot of weird things can happen that's not normal. So I want to look at this HOA. Yeah, we're probably gonna do some of this HOA this afternoon, and then the rest of it tomorrow. Just see how long it takes us to do this routing. I mean, at the end of the day, I could probably just go on and let Toby do this route that we're going to, but a couple curveballs, and there always is a couple curveballs that came up that well, I don't want to have to go back and do anything. So we got one of the neighbors of one of my longtime customers. He wants us to do his from this point on for the rest of the season because he's having surgery, and I've done his property before, so it's you know, it's right next door. I think I charge him 80. I think I don't remember, but he's a good guy, and you know, he'll pretty much pay whatever I say, you know. He called me and wanted me to ask me last week if I could incorporate his yard because he's fixing to have surgery, and I'm like, okay. So then I talked to him last night, and he's like, yeah, it needs it. So we'll be doing that one today. We'll be doing the original one that we do over there too. And she has a bunch of big trees removed, big trees. Great. Well, she said, I don't know the extent. I haven't seen it, but I will today. And it's a property that you guys have been on. We did sod over there right before I started doing the YouTube. I don't know that we'll even get over to the HOA today. I don't know for sure because we got to cut the bamboo site too, and that usually takes a while. But it might be better, and I can change it up because that's the last thing that we do. So we got a lot of things to do before then. If we get to the last, according to the timing of everything, I might change things up. Because I know on the 4th of July, you know, I can cut the bamboo site without any interference. I can't say the same about the HOA. So if we can do a big piece of the HOA today, that'd be nice, and then tomorrow we can wrap it up early and then go to the bamboo site, and that'll be our 4th of July day, and then I'll pay my guy for a full day. We might work, you know, 2 hours, 3 hours, but it's all contingent on what we get done today. So we're going to get all these done today. Also, where the lady had the big trees removed, I'll show y'all when we get over here. She wants to do more grass, And I mean, these customers, man, sometimes they waste a lot of money, man, when they don't have to. You know, I told her that I would be glad to bring the man lift over there, and I could have trimmed those big trees up, way up. You know, I want to say about 5 years ago, something like that, we installed like 9 pallets of grass, something like that. I can't remember. Might have been 7 or 8. I can't remember. Anyway, it was like a $7,000 job that we did, and it turned out beautifully, and that's the grass that we cut now. But I told her back then, you know, there was no point in buying sod and putting all up on that tree line, because it ain't going to grow. Wasn't nothing growing when we put the sod there. So Bermuda requires a lot of sun, and you know, so the whole probably 2 pallets at $600 a pallet. Yeah. Two pallets got wasted because there ain't nothing growing there, and it looks terrible. So now she had the trees removed. Now, I don't know which ones or anything. She told me which ones, but you know, I gotta see. So she's like, I want to do more grass, and I'm like, okay. And I'm expensive. I don't do sod cheap. I don't know what everybody else does it for, and I don't even care. For me to do a sod job, and I don't do seeds. For me to do a sod job, we are at about $600 a pallet installed. So, yeah. So she had these 2 trees removed. Y'all see how big they are? And now she wants to put grass, come all the way down to the pine straw right there. So a pallet up there, another pallet here, and then probably, well, almost a pallet here. I'm thinking 3 pallets. I'm thinking we could use 3 pallets. Probably get it all the way to about right here. One on this side of the ditch, right, from the ditch this way, and then another one on that side. Yeah, about 2.5 to 3 pallets, I'm thinking. But I got to get on to the next one, y'all. Deuces. All right, y'all, so I'm back over here. Y'all remember we just did this last week. Everything looks pretty good. This is an empty property, but look back here, y'all. Y'all remember when I cut that? Look at the muscadine vines. Somebody done come in here and cleaned it all off. It must have been, yeah, look at that. It's dying. Wow. Yeah, it's all dying. Look at that. And that's how you get rid of this stuff. Of course, you got to be careful. This looks real nice, really, compared to what it did. And if you don't spray over here, use a damn fool. So, and this is an empty property, so this is not a property that, you know, anybody lives at. So, yeah, I think it looks nice, man. Y'all see it? Look at them stripes, man. Ain't even trying, and we get stripes. We're not even trying. Let me go backwards so y'all can really see. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all see that? Come on. That's what that X-Mark Ranger sees. X-Series. That's right, man. Not a whole lot to talk about. It's hot, 94 degrees. It started raining a little bit, which is good, but it didn't rain enough to, hell, it didn't even rain enough to get the mower soaking wet. So very little rain, but yeah. So I was wanting to ask some of the guys that get paid monthly, that are in this drought that I'm in. So how does it work? Do you get paid per cut and then get a check at the end of the month, or they just pay a certain amount of money every month? I have both, but there is an expectation to do, you know, especially with the homeowner stuff. They don't want to pay if the grass don't need it. I know a lot of guys, you know, say, you know, contract monthly getting paid. Well, some of my customers, well, they'd probably pay it if I did it like that, just blindly invoice. But some of my customers would get a severe attitude about that. They would. And that's why I don't do it, because I feel like that's bad business, really. If you're trying to, you know, get word of mouth and, you know, stay busy and that kind of thing. I don't want to get paid for something that I'm not doing. And trust me, the customers, every now and then you might find one, but 99%, they don't want to pay if you're not on their property. Now, some of the commercial people will, because that's just the cost of doing business, or one of the costs of doing business. But I was wondering, for you guys that get paid strictly monthly, do y'all still get the same amount of money? Or do they still get well, do y'all get the same amount of money whether you go there or not, I guess is what I'm trying to ask. I guess it's according to how the contract's written, right? I used to have a couple and they were big residential properties. Now they pay so much a month, but if there was a point in time where we couldn't cut the grass, we would still go over there and do a little cleanup stuff, you know, spray, and maybe we need a fence line or something like that, you know. I'm just curious how and there's nothing wrong with either way, you know. Y'all know I want to get paid at time of service. I don't even like getting paid before. I don't even like getting paid in advance. I got a few people that do that. I got three people that do that. Two of them pay for the whole season. Well, they'll pay for about 15 weeks. We're not going to get over to the HOA to even start on it today. So we'll probably get started on we'll probably do the HOA in the morning. I mean, we just don't, I mean, at the end of the day, the HOA's not paying me right now. I gotta wait a month on it. So if I gotta wait a month on the money, then and if I got a choice, then I'm gonna go with the people that are paying me now. Always. I mean, that's the downside to not paying your landscaper until the end of the month. But I don't like waiting on my money. I'll get over there and do it, but it's going to be, put it this way, I will fulfill the contract, and it's going to be done every 2 weeks like it's supposed to, and it's going to be correct. But I ain't making no special provisions to get over there before a holiday or whatever. I I'll give it a try, but I'm not gonna. Like I said, if it comes between a property that's paying me today or a property that's paying me in 3 weeks, I'm going with the property that's paying me today. That's what I'm going with. We'll get to the one that'll pay in 3 weeks. It just won't be today. It'll be tomorrow. Might not be ideal, just like getting paid every month ain't ideal. So that's kind of how you have to do the wing and the wang, man. And I know there's a lot of guys that swear about getting paid every month, but shit, hell with that. There's no way I can run my business where, or I would even want to run my business where everybody pays me at the end of the month. Well, Ray, you get a big chunk of money then. Okay, I get the same chunk of money. Only thing is I get to get it early. It all comes back to you and your self-discipline. If you can't hold a dollar, then it's better to get paid by the month. If you're really disciplined with your money, then it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other to me, because I take the money and I put it in the bank and I don't do anything any different with it. What I don't like about getting paid every month is somebody's holding my money for 3 or 4 weeks. That's what I don't like that. You know, well, it ain't that big of a deal. No, until they die, or until something happens, or until you just never know. I want my money now because I want to use my money to make more money with now, not at the end of the month. Well, I don't want to let them hold on to it. They can just send it on over to my bank account and let me hold on to it. I mean, you know. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like getting paid in advance either. I like to do the work and get a check or Venmo or whatever. And I like to get my money within a day or two. It don't always work out like that. And I do have, you know, like the HOA and a few other properties that pay me monthly. But they ain't my favorite. They're not. I'm talking about every time I do the property, if I get my money right then, well, to me, I'm making more money. That's what it means to me, because number one, I don't have to worry about them not paying me, which keeps my books all open, and I like to close invoices and move on to some more work. Instead of, you know, at the end of the month, having 2 days where I'm strictly chasing my money that I already earned a month ago. And the same thing, just opposite when it's, you know, paying in advance. Same shit. I'm much more likely to do advance than pay me monthly. I don't even offer really monthly unless you're spending, you know, $1,000 or $2 a month. For every mom and pop little lawn, $60, $70, $80 lawn I'm doing, there ain't no way, man. People get confused too when they start owing you some money. I found that out too. They get a little confused. Yeah. And the more money they owe you, the more confused they get. Like yesterday, I got all my money. Today, I got all my money. Right? I mean, every dollar that we mowed, I got a check for in my pocket. Or I got a Zelle or a Venmo. But I know there's a lot of people that do like the monthly. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It's really, well, it ain't the same to me, but it might be the same to somebody else. A lot of people just like to get that chunk of money and then they can do something with it. Well, I do the same thing. I just let the chunk build up in my bank account, not theirs. That's the only difference. And getting paid monthly, if you're in a drought like we are, and you're used to getting some money, you know, during the month, but the bulk of it at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, however you want to look at it. Well, if you're skipping a bunch of yards like I've been having to do, then you're not getting any of that run money. I call it run money because that's what's running you while you're waiting on the end of the month. or the beginning of the month. Just the little yards that you're doing, you know, for fuel and that and that, you know. I like to use the money as I'm getting it for fuel and everything. And if I did everything monthly, well, right now, that'd be ugly. Because I'm used to getting a certain amount of money, you know, from the customers that are not paying monthly, that are paying per cut. And we're not doing those. So I'm not getting Foodie Poo's $80 and Johnny's and Johnny's $75. I'm not getting that money throughout the month because of the drought. So what ends up happening, if you're set up like that, I would think that you start running cash flow low. Now, we know you can go to the bank and get more money, but the purpose for me of being in business is not to have to go get money out of the bank. I want a business to survive on its own. Next thing you know, you're borrowing money from the business account and you're working every freaking day. And then at the end of the month, you finally get your little chunk, but you're having to pay the business back. I don't know, man. I don't think that I could do it monthly. Not 100% totally monthly. There's no way. I just wouldn't want to do it. I like to hold my money. I like to see it. I like to count the zeros. I don't want nobody else counting the zeros. Like right now, I got probably $2,000 in the street. Over $2,000 in the street, but $1,500 of it is from one person. One commercial account. And I've been waiting on the check. It ain't that they don't pay or whatever. It's that the owner's out of town and he ain't there to sign the check. But he's steady texting me to do more work, you know, and I'm not worried about them not paying me. I've been doing work for them for 10 years. I'm not really, or longer. And he's not even the one responsible of writing the check. He just has to, him or one of the other owners has to sign it. But that puts the girl that cuts the checks, that puts her in the mix, because I'm steady calling her about the money that from 2 weeks ago. I ain't got to pay for that cleanup that we did. I showed y'all earlier today. I ain't got to pay for that yet. And see, I don't want to continue to do work until I get my money. But I do for them. But if it was anybody else, I wouldn't. I'd be insistent on getting my money before I let them run on up to, you know, $2,500. He's at about 18 now and going up. And the invoice they have is for 15, because the invoice I sent them was 2 weeks ago. We'd have done another $400 worth of work since then. I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. It's just my thoughts, and nothing I'm right, wrong, or whatever. It's just how I roll, man. I want my money. Too hot out here to be playing kitty games. We had a good day. We've had a good week thus far. We're not making a fortune, but we're doing all right. We're averaging probably 700 a day, 680 a day, something like that, if we average the last 3 days. Well, yesterday was kind of slack, but it's all good. I hope everybody has a safe 4th of July. And yeah, I'm cutting grass on 4th of July. Deuces.